Shane Beamer, it feels like year 2, but it's truthfully a year 5 for him. That's kind of crazy to say when you really break it down. Year 5 for Shane Beamer, and also the fact that, as I've said, he really goes into year 5, honestly, in as good a shape as any coach I can remember in my lifetime going into year 5.
Ooh, that's an interesting conversation to have. As he was talking, to summarize it, no, there is not any quote-unquote tampering because the coaches already know. 2, the idea of we don't want to play because we want to protect them from injuries, false, because they're already playing. So Shane was saying that he gets what the other coach was saying, but then he also went on to say, like, yeah, right, those are not very solid reasons. Then he provided an even better reason why you should have the spring game, which is a fan service, a service to the community. So they will be having a spring game. He didn't speak very much going forward. He said this year, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Preston, yeah, I guess I don't know if after the Clemson series I'd say they faced adversity. I think maybe it was different what they were facing coming off of the Clemson series. This, you've had a game in which you let get away. You blew it.
Absolutely.
And this is now where you got to see it. Now you got I think because when we looked at the Georgia State game that was coming up after the Clemson series, I think that was right. Or no, it was a string of games, then Morehead State. There wasn't no juice. There was no meat on the bone. You were just like, nameless, faceless. There's a name and a face tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all of the things that you want to the juice factor high. You have a former coach who I think after a while folks have reconciled their feelings with that and like, all right, Chad was good. Like everything's worked out for everybody and it's good. Location. So you have players that are down there at the College of Charleston. There's always that factor of, did some of those players ever want to play at South Carolina? Is there not a revenge factor, but we're here, they're there. Why are they there? Why are we here? There's always that kind of thing happening. And then coming off of losing a SEC series in the fashion that they did, yeah, there are a lot of reasons to be paying attention to the game.
What was the moment you learned that pro days at South Carolina, whether you're in school or out of school, are quite the special experience?
I don't know if they're the same experience because things change, but back in my day, pro day was a tremendous event because it usually coincides with like the beginning of spring practice. So there's a reason of like, we're going to have to get serious here for a little while. But the pro days would be when all of the pros would come back to campus. And the pros would be pros from the NFL, and they would come back to campus, and usually a class would be participating in pro day, and guys would have been off training for a while, they'd be back. So it's a really festive, fun time. And then inevitably somebody has a success at pro day in which they lock down their spot of going into the pros, and that's when the rest of us freeloaders who had no opportunity of going to the pros were there for the party.
It's not opening day, but baseball season officially started today. That's right. The Dodgers and the Cubs are officially playing a game that
Don't want to talk about it.
And that right there tells you what the score is. The game officially counts in the standings. They are over in Tokyo for the Tokyo series, and that has gotten us going here as you just kind of heard Jen allude to a slight bit. It's not going well for the Cubbies.